Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Foxy98 here. Welcome back to a brand new video for you guys today here on the channel. Today we are back with my F1 2018 career mode. We are here for the Belgian Grand Prix, and things are looking good in the championship so far. And we're hoping to continue our good run of form from as early, actually, because overall, in terms of the form over the past few races, we haven't actually been doing that well. However, in the championship, we are still doing good in that sense. And as you can see, we've got a very good, comfortable lead in the development chart. And obviously, as I've stated, I won't be at Mercedes next year. So my aim is to make Mercedes as strong as possible heading into next season, so it makes it even harder then. Moving on then into qualifying, and as you can see, to Q1, going through Blanchiment, we actually went wide and got a warning for that, but doesn't really give you an advantage going out wide, so it's not too much of a problem. As you get towards the end of the chicane here, you can see that we've just lost the back end slightly. We still go fastest, which is decent, but of course we've got the likes of Hamilton who's on the soft tyres, so obviously we still have a lot of improvements to do if we're going to try and beat Lewis Hamilton in qualifying. And as you can see, overall, it is the Ferraris that are on the front in the end of Q1, but it is only the Q1, so there's not really much to go by there. It's Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, and then Renault, so not too bad at all. So yeah, we're looking to try and push forward in qualifying and see what we can do. As Hamilton was the only one to qualify on soft tyres in Q1. It's Q2, and we're still running the super soft tyres. We're going to be trying to do the one stop pretty much in this Grand Prix, and we can do that running the super soft tyres. And as we come through the final chicane now, Hamilton is currently quickest with a 42 flat, so we're going to try and get as close as we can to that. And unfortunately, as you may have just seen then, it was actually half a second off the pace. So already we've got a lot of work to do if we're going to try and get pole position here today. And it's a bit worrying to see Hamilton that far ahead. And overall, it said that I was half a second off the pace. But then Hamilton's lap time almost like got invalidated because he set a 142 flat and I was half a second off. And now his best lap time was a 142.2. So bit of a glitch there, but there we go. So I sort of actually had a look at his lap time because I was sort of like, well, how does he get that? So you can see there that he had a 142.039, but it just didn't count. So that's a bit of a strange one. There we go. It's probably got invalidated at some point. Moving on then into Q3, and Kimi Raikkonen is currently fastest on a 143 dead. That's nowhere near going to be the fastest time or even pole position for that matter because, of course, Hamilton comes across the line as a 142.3 in qualifying. We get a little bit wayward on the exit of the chicane there, and it's 0.3 of a second that we need to find if we're going to out-qualify Hamilton, and we're going slower, actually, than in Q2. We can definitely do a 142.5. That's 100% guaranteed. But it's about if we can get the lap right and towards the final chicane, taking a lot of speed through there. Now into the second part of the final chicane. And now coming out of the corner there, we actually do get a better run, but it wasn't actually as fast as my other lap. So it didn't actually equate to anything. So it's going to be a front row start for us. So we've got pace in here at Spa. It's definitely much improved compared to the last few races, but Lewis Hamilton eventually does a 142 flat, and we are 0.6 of a second off of the pace there, so fantastic lap from Lewis Hamilton. He's on pole position, and we got absolutely battered in qualifying, like we kind of have done all season. I still feel the AIs are quicker in qualifying than they are in the race. Hopefully that can get changed at some point, but there we go. So that is where we are looking then in terms of the overall performances there. And without further ado, let's get into the race for the Belgian Grand Prix.
In the 48 races held at Spa between 1950 and 2015, the race winner has only started from pole position on 16 occasions. Qualifying yesterday may have set the order for today, but expect the unexpected here at the Belgian Grand Prix. As the saying goes, of course, anything can happen. And you know what? It usually does. So here we are once again, ready to go racing through the Ardennes Forest. 4.35 miles of long straights, fast corners and massive elevation changes. It makes this not only one of the most exciting circuits on the calendar, but one that makes for some consistently high quality racing as well. Simply put it, there really is no place quite like Spa. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk briefly about Daniel Ricciardo. There's a new gearbox in the back of that car, which means a grid penalty, and hopefully some excitement as they make their way through the field.
Fingers crossed that's one failure they won't have to worry about today, at least. There's not much of a silver lining to starting down the field with a penalty, but I think they'll be able to make some of that back up over the course of the race.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Thomas completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Verstappen, Sebastian Vettel, and Sainz, Perez, Hülkenberg, Ocon, and Fernando Alonso, Magnussen, Leclerc, Romain Grosjean, and Ricciardo, Van Dorn, Stroll, Pierre Gasly, and Marcus Ericsson. Sirotkin and Brendan Hartley rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Alright, so we're on the grid then to start the Belgian Grand Prix, and there's no penalties that have been applied to the to the front runners, and as you can see, it's going to be the one-stop race, so we're going to start on the super soft tyres and go to the mediums, so yeah, there's no real need for us to qualify on different tyre compounds for this race. Without further ado, then let's get into this Grand Prix then. So we're on the grid now. We've got 4, now 5 red lights for this Belgian Grand Prix, and it's lights out. Here we go to start the Belgian Grand Prix. It's been a good start from us initially. We decide to switch over to the inside line. Raikkonen switches to that inside line. It's going to be 3 wide in towards La Source, but we carry more speed through the corner, and we've actually got the jump on Lewis Hamilton, and also from, I believe, one of the other Ferraris as well. No, it's, yeah, Hamilton and Raikkonen who got the jump on, and Hamilton from pole position has had an awful start. He's down into 4th place now in this Grand Prix, but he's got a great run here on Sebastian Vettel, and down the Kemmel straight we go, and you can see Hamilton in the slipstream with Sebastian, but Vettel is actually moving over slightly towards the inside line. Might have a go at Raikkonen here as they go in towards Lecombe, and Vettel now looks like he's side by side, so I think Hamilton's just snuck around the outside. He's trying to have a look at Vettel here as Hamilton, and he sort of moves over ever so slightly, but Hamilton doesn't quite get it sick. He tries to go around the outside here on Vettel, but it doesn't work for him. Lewis Hamilton has to wait a little bit longer for his maneuver. He tries to have a go down the inside now in the corner with no name, but Hamilton has to sit back, and now we go towards Pouin. I don't think Hamilton's got enough speed and momentum to go for it. He'll stick to it towards the inside line. He's got the move done there, so lovely overtake from Hamilton down the inside there on Sebastian Vettel, and that's him up into 3rd place once again in this Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff there to make that overtake. But onto the second lap of the Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton is now in the slipstream of Vettel here, and as you can see up towards the straight, Vettel in that Ferrari is absolutely flying, and he breezes straight back past Hamilton, and Lewis could do nothing to defend there as he's got no slipstream from Raikkonen. He still fights it in towards the Lecombe chicane, but it's not enough for him eventually. He has to admit defeat on that one, and then through the bus stop chicane on the end of the lap, Hamilton has another look at Vettel towards the outside line of the bus stops. He's going to have the outside line initially, but it will turn to the inside for the second apex, but this time Vettel just manages to carry more speed and perfects his racecraft there through the chicane, and he stays in front of Lewis Hamilton, and as you can see, he is having to basically bide his time here. He's around the outside of La Source now. Hamilton goes on Vettel, but again, no way of room there for Hamilton, but now he's going to have a good opportunity up the hill now through Eau Rouge, and then on the top of Radion, and then down the Kemmel straight. That's going to be his best chance. He has a look in towards Eau Rouge. Hamilton being bold and brave. That was probably the wrong move though, because now he's put himself right in the clutches of Verstappen. Raikkonen in front, got the DRS to myself, but we can keep him at bay. And now further back, you can see Hamilton has that DRS, but he's out under pressure of Verstappen after his bold attempt of an overtake on Sebastian Vettel through Eau Rouge. Should have just waited to the Kemmel straight. Now he's got some defending to do. He does defend against Verstappen, but now that's put him under a bit of pressure here as we now watch with Kimi Raikkonen now. And I think this is Kimi Raikkonen myself going through Blanchimont. It is, so Raikkonen there gets it all out of shape. I go all out of shape here, go wide off of the exit of Blanchimont there, and now coming back onto the straight here, down in towards the final bus stop chicane here. We managed to make it stick, but Kimi Raikkonen now is applying the pressure on us out front. So despite the fact that we've been leading throughout this entire Grand Prix, we've actually got DRS as well on this straight to give us the edge. Despite the fact we've been leading, Raikkonen, as you can see, is right behind me, and he is not letting me pull away in this Grand Prix. So I am on my feet right now, trying to stay ahead as we continue to push onwards. And you can see the exit of La Source, we get some great traction there, and that gives us the advantage that we're looking for. But up Eau Rouge now, we go sideways a little bit there. Raikkonen's got a fabulous run out of Eau Rouge. Now up towards the Kemmel straight here. Raikkonen moves over to the outside line, but we stay out of the slipstream. ERS in overtake mode, rich mixture enabled. We just managed to stay very far ahead, which kind of symbolises to me that we're running a lot less downforce than the other drivers, and that's probably why on my lap times, as Hamilton now is still fighting Verstappen here. So Hamilton and Max having a great duel here. Hamilton manages to stay in front in the Lecombe chicane there, but it signals to me that I'm running a lot less downforce, and that's probably why I am struggling a lot more in the middle sector compared to my rivals As you can see, we go up Eau Rouge and now the top of Radion and onto the Camel Straight. Raikkonen now is coming back for a little bit more here as we move over towards the outside line this time here. We're not quite in all of our juicy modes this time. I actually put it down into standard because even though Raikkonen breezes past, I can just carry much more speed in the braking zone. And I was able to stay in front of Kimi Raikkonen there. So another attack from Kimi, and on to lap 6 of the Grand Prix. He is still attacking in this race. So this is the stage now. We're coming into the pits at the end of this lap. My super soft tyres are at the end of their stint. We go wide on the exit, Stavilo corner. That's going to put us off guard there. Raikkonen now towards the outside line here. It's going to be the similar fight to what we had 2 laps ago or 3 laps ago. But now it's going to be a case of me being on the inside, Raikkonen being on the outside. Raikkonen doesn't lose control of his car. I did. And in towards the bus stop chicane here, you can see we're just bumping and banging. And now in towards the chicane, we brake really late because I'm coming into the pits. So I wanted to make sure that I was in front of Raikkonen because otherwise I'd have to back off, let him through, and then dive into the chicane. So I sort of wanted to just dive it around the outside and kind of, it was quite a cheeky one to just chop him off there, but at the end of the day I wanted to make sure that I had a quick run into the pits, and I was sort of on the wrong side. I needed to be on the outside really to get the pit stop that I wanted, but it doesn't matter. We're coming out of the pits now. We've managed to do the stop correctly there, and all the other drivers behind us, you can see, coming in for their stops, but we're on the medium tyres. These are going to the end of the race. We shouldn't have a problem getting them there, so yeah, we're going to be good on that front. Now we just only push as one of the Saubers is going slowly down on the somewhere down in the middle sector. I think that's towards Pouin. That he's got a bit of a problem there, so unfortunate for him, whoever it is, either Charles Leclerc or Marcus Ericsson, but it doesn't matter on that front. Now, after the pit stops here, you can see, this is just beforehand actually, after Raikkonen was released, after I'd held him up for ages, Sebastian Vettel just found a hell of a lot of pace in that Ferrari, and throughout what's been a trend throughout this entire season, Vettel now is trying to attack Kimi Raikkonen in the Ferrari. Raikkonen holds this one off. Vettel has to sit back and wait a little bit longer, but yeah, I think Vettel definitely has got the pace, and afterwards Vettel actually came in earlier, did the undercut on Raikkonen, and now on the medium tyres, I'm leading the Grand Prix. Vettel goes towards the inside line. Raikkonen tries to go around the outside, locks up though, and now it's a 3-way fight. Vettel is in second, Raikkonen is in third, Hamilton is in fourth. However, I cannot be comfortable up front. The gap up front is 2.3 seconds, and I'm not pulling away at this stage in the race. Despite these guys fighting, I am not pulling away, so I've still got work to do as Vettel now has to defend against Raikkonen, makes his move early to the inside line. That's me going through the Lecombe chicane right there. Raikkonen towards the outside line, a little bit of contact between the cars, but nothing too major and too severe there. And now in towards the chicane, Vettel tries to once again defend his position. That's me going through the next corner as these two Ferraris fly on through. I think Raikkonen's got a little bit more speed through here, but Vettel still holding his position very nicely here. And now Vettel will do exactly what Raikkonen did to him just before they stopped for a fresh set of tyres. But now this has got Lewis Hamilton right into play, and through Pouin now you can see Hamilton with a fabulous run here, and Raikkonen defends strangely there, and he's all sort of made a mistake. He's opened the door there, and Hamilton, he's just completely accepted that. Just goes straight on through, and Raikkonen just caught napping a little bit there in that stage of the race. As Vettel now is next on Hamilton's hit list, so it's Lewis Hamilton now that's on the charge here, and there's me in the top of the shot then, just going through, and Hamilton now with the DRS open, and as you can see, he's going to breeze past Sebastian Vettel, Lecombe chicane, and Hamilton touches a little bit there with Sebastian Vettel. That was a little bit cheeky on Hamilton's behalf now as they go through in towards the exit of the chicane. Hamilton stays just about behind there, but Raikkonen now has sort of caught back up. He lost a little bit of time after Hamilton made the overtake, and now Hamilton trying to have a look at Vettel in towards the bus stop. Goes a little bit wayward there on traction, but eventually now in towards the final part of the chicane here, Vettel now is trying to pull away here, and as they do so, Hamilton's got DRS, so he's going to have a good run towards La Source now, does Lewis Hamilton. And actually, speaking of that, he's now on the outside line, but he locks up into La Source. A little bit of a mistake from Hamilton, and they're still fighting here. This is a great scrap between Hamilton and the two Ferraris. I'm just not involved in this. I'm just keeping my distance up front. As now you can see Hamilton is in front, but he's made that move probably in the wrong place, because now on the straight here, they're going to have the Ferraris are going to have the DRS. Hamilton won't have DRS, and they'll just come straight back past him. So Vettel towards the inside. Raikkonen's going to go towards the outside here. He's now going to transverse that to the inside line, and now in towards the Lecombe chicane. Vettel's in front. Raikkonen tries to have a look at Vettel as well. There's some damage there. Some bits of bodywork came off one of the Ferraris then, so they've made contact, and someone's end plate has sustained some form of damage. How much damage though, I don't have a clue there, as they now go in towards the corner now, and Hamilton actually is going back at Raikkonen now, in towards the corner with no name, and Raikkonen has lost the position. I think it might just be Kimi Raikkonen that lost out there, and he has done, because he's fallen very far back, as Lewis Hamilton now sets his sights on Sebastian Vettel once again in the bus stop chicane, and he's going to go towards the inside line. He's got a better run than he did the previous time that he attacked Sebastian Vettel in towards the chicane, and once again, DRS on the pit straight. This will give Hamilton the edge that he needs going in towards the source, but Vettel will have the inside line. Brakes later. Hamilton get another bit of contact there between the two Ferraris, so they're really fighting hard in this Grand Prix, and Hamilton now is set to attack Vettel once again. Up Eau Rouge, side by side throw Rouge. Vettel holds on in there against Lewis Hamilton. Lovely panning shot as these two go hammer and tongs. And on lap 17 of the Grand Prix, we've got a safety car in this race. So for the first time this season, we have got a safety car that has been introduced into this race, and now the engineer has suggested to me a change in our strategy, and that we pit and go onto a set of soft tyres and take those to the end of the race, get some fresh tyres and attack at the end. So I've decided to follow the strategy and go in for a set of tyres. This is going to drop me out of the lead to the Grand Prix, so it means that I am going to have to overtake for the victory, but I'm going to have fresh tyres, and obviously we're going to have maximum ERS attack, and obviously we're also going to have a lot of fuel to use. So I was double checking to make sure these were fresh tyres, and they were. So that's good for us. And now, obviously, we've got a 2.7 second pit stop. We're in 5th place, so it means we've got to overtake Verstappen, Vettel, Raikkonen, and Hamilton. And on lap 18, actually, this might be a tough one, but we're going to give it a go. We're trusting our strategists here, so if it goes wrong, it's all down to the strategists, and now they're coming into the pits now. So now we can get back racing once again. We sort of size ourselves up on Verstappen, keep ourselves side by side with the Red Bull driver, but in towards the second part of the chicane, Verstappen just about holds on. I actually go a bit wide there in the chicane as my tyres haven't fully heated up now, but as we get on the straight here and attack Max Verstappen, we're going to go for it in towards La Source. We need to make a move, and in towards La Source we go, down the inside on Verstappen, and that's us up into P4 down the race. Ocon and also Alonso has a little look at Verstappen there, so Max actually loses his time. Now further on into the race here, Vettel seems to have a car issue, and he's holding up Raikkonen now, and that's allowing Raikkonen to attack, and now we're trying to get involved in this here, as we now super round here. Vettel is under pressure here, and we lose the rear end ever so slightly, trying to continue our line. Vettel closes the line off. We go a little bit off circuit there, a bit wayward, but we make it sick on Sebastian Vettel, as he's really falling back now into the clutches of pretty much everyone, and now we've got an attack on Kimi Raikkonen, but look at the gap that Hamilton's got. There goes Hamilton, and there's us two in the background. So Hamilton making full advantage of this restart, so he's flying away at the moment as we now make our charge through towards the Blanchimont corner, and now up towards the bus stop chicane. We're going to go down the inside here on Kimi Raikkonen, make this one stick into the bus stop chicane, and now we've got 2 laps. I think we only got 2 left to go and attack Hamilton, but unfortunately on lap 22 of this Belgian Grand Prix, after leading the entire race long, we're not even going to take the win. Hamilton snatches the win here at the Belgian Grand Prix. It's 2nd place for us today. We lose points in the championship against Lewis Hamilton. We're still going to be in front, but that was pretty much a race that we threw away, and that was, we should never have pitted under the safety car. If Vettel, I didn't know he had an issue with his car, and I didn't know that until I came out of the pits. If that was the case, I would have been able to have pulled away from Vettel afterwards, and that would have given me plenty of time. And from there, I should have probably just stayed out. But there we go. That's what it is. So we lost out on the race. That was the wrong strategy call. The engineer said that we've got a new strategy, come in for a set of soft tyres, so I decided to follow the team, and it wasn't the right call today, but that happens. So we're going to have to deal with the runners-up spot, and obviously next time we have got the Italian Grand Prix, so we'll have to just get ready for that race in Monza. And obviously my car, I seem to be eligible to set up my car to be really good in a straight line, so Monza shouldn't really be that much of a problem for me, because if I can set it up for a straight line, then I'm pretty much all good for this one. As you can see, celebrating there for 2nd place. Perez as well, getting a fabulous podium for Force India. Ahead of the 2 Red Bulls, Raikkonen dropped down to 6th, and Vettel, he dropped down to 18th. So Vettel dropped all the way to last pretty much out of all the finishers. So a horrible end to the race for Ferrari. And in the World Drivers' Championship then, the gap has dropped to 24 points now between myself and Lewis Hamilton in this race. And that is still pretty close, still less than a race victory in hand. Mercedes are 120 points clear in the Constructors' Championship. Red Bull 3rd in the championship ahead of Force India as well. So all in all, a decent result. I mean, it's a perfect result for Mercedes. It's a 1-2. That's what we expect. But obviously, when you led the entire race, you kind of wanted to be there all the way till the end. And finally, we've got the interview with Claire. Now, this question was just dull because she's asking me, me and Hamilton had contact, and we never had contact. We didn't really play F1. In terms of this Belgian one, yeah, we kind of did have a lot of contact, especially with Raikkonen, a lot of close wheel-to-wheel action. I tried to answer that one, and it actually just decreased the reputation with Mercedes. So that was a mistake. I should have just not commented and just ignored Claire throughout the entire of that interview. But oh well, we answered it, and it basically went like that. So that's how it was. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for my F1 2018 career modes here at the Belgian Grand Prix. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, feel free to drop it a like, subscribe if you're new around here as well. In terms of career modes, I am dropping these episodes just to 3 a week now. It's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then the other days are all going to be just different videos such as challenges and stuff like that, as that's just where my audience is pushed towards, and that's where I'm going to push towards as well. And until then, guys, I will see you for the next one. Take care all. Peace.